Lesson 7.9, I'm on page 471 in the workbook, multiply mixed numbers. How do you multiply mixed numbers? Okay, so a mixed number is a whole number and a fraction. So we might see something that looks like this, which is a mixed number. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, I'm going to show you what this would look like visually using a model, and then we'll try the regular multiplication method. All right, so let's take a look at the word problem. 1/3 of a 1 1/4 acre park has been reserved as a dog park. Find the number of acres that are used as a dog park. Okay, so take a moment. Let's circle some of these key numbers. We want to find the number of acres that are used as a dog park. Okay, and 1/3 of the total 1 1/4 acre park is what we're looking for. So we're going to take, they wrote out the multiplication sentence for us, so we have 1/3 times, or 1/3 of 1 1/4. So is the area of the dog park less than or greater than the area of the 1 1/4 acre park? So if the total park is 1 1/4 and they want to reserve an area for the dog park, 1/3, that area is going to be less than 1 1/4. Okay, because they only want a part of this whole dog park, or the whole park for the dog park. Okay, so we have a model here. So one way, shade the model to represent the whole park. The whole park is 1 1/4 acres. Okay, so we're going to shade one hole. So again, you can either use light and then dark shading with a pencil, or you could use two different colored pencils. Okay, so here's my one hole, and then I need one more out of the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to represent 1 1/4. And then we want to represent the part of the dog park, the part that will be the dog park, which is 1/3. So now we're going to split this into thirds going across, or horizontal, to show 1/3, or, well, not necessarily 1/3 yet. We want it to show thirds. Okay, so we have this split into thirds going across. Each part of the rectangle shows 12 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we want to take one of the thirds. So here's our 3. We're going to shade, I'm just going to pick one of these and start at the top and shade across. And then we're going to look and see how many squares are double shaded, overlapped, or shaded twice. Okay, so I have double shaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Okay, so what fraction of each rectangle is shaded twice? Well, out of our first rectangle, we have 4 12s that are shaded twice. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 12. And our second rectangle, 1 of the 12s are shaded. Just 1 is double shaded out of the 12 in the second rectangle. So if we take 4 12s plus 1 12s, we have 5 12s. Okay, so back to adding fractions, we have a common denominator already, so we just keep it, and then we add our numerators, 5/12. Okay, so visually, this is what 5/12 would look like. Out of the total, 1 and 1/4. Okay, so here's our thirds. Okay, so this would be the part that would be reserved for the dog park. So it would be part of the whole of the 1 and 1/4. Okay, so that's one way. So that's just showing you with the model, with the visual. Okay, now I'm going to go down and show you the same problem, 1/3 times 1 and 1/4. So if we want 1/3 of 1 and 1/4. So like I said, we just saw that visually with the model. So what we need to do first is we need to rename the mixed number as a fraction. Okay, so 1 and 1/4 is a mixed number. So here's a little review of how do we change a mixed number into an improper fraction. So we could use the C rule. Remember the C rule? So we would multiply the denominator times the whole number and then add the numerator. So we call it the C rule because we make a big C. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and then our denominator stays the same. So now we're ready to multiply the fractions. So we're just changing 1 and 1/4 to 5/4 because we can't multiply a mixed number times a fraction. We need to multiply a fraction times a fraction. Okay, and then we're ready, multiply the fractions. So here's our first step, we just did. Step 2 is multiply the fractions. So 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 4 is 12. And then our last step is ask yourself, is it in simplest form? 5/12 is already in simplest form, so we can't simplify any lower. And here's our answer. So 1/3 of 1 and 1/4 is 5/12. So we end up with the same answer, the same product, just doing regular multiplication. Okay, so we're going to flip to the next page and try some more together.